though they were able to get out of danger in some cases, they were eventually found out by a group of Hutus that had stopped them with another group of Tutsis and caught them out talking about he could tell that they were Tutsis and that their identification was fake, pointing them out because of how their hair was. It's not Hutu hair, that's rough Tutsi hair, or their long legs, short legs, blah blah blah, whatever you would like to say. But in my opinion, I believe like this whole Rwanda genocide thing was a bunch of a big waste of time. Two groups fighting over nothing. Like not too soon after this event, the blame game starts to go around where the Hutus were already blaming the RPF for them, killing their president, blah 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 blah, and which led to two anti-Tutsi groups, the Impuzamugambi and the Interahamwe, both under the Akuzu. They began to slaughter Tutsi, and not only would they slaughter Tutsi, but they would slaughter their own Hutus who would stand and try to protect the Tutsis, trying to create peace. And these Hutus that they were slaughtered were called moderate Hutus. And while this slaughter was happening, the RPF, because of the Arusha Accords, they were at a cease-fire agreement, but they had to bring back efforts to fight the Hutus again, try to calm everything down. But the anti-Tutsi groups were just so enraged and livid that apparently it was nothing stopping them at this point. For a more inside look at things, I would like to use, a person that was in the middle of the Rwanda genocide as a Tutsi. Though she was young, her name was Odette Nyarumilimo, and she is a Rwanda physician and is also a senator that served under Paul Kagame. And though she was a Tyler, she still remembers some things about how the Tutsis were being hunted as if they were pests and exterminated. Eventually, tension faded between the two groups, and the Tutsis that fled to other countries returned to see what was left of their country, and the Hutus that helped killed off any Tutsis were still there, and though some Tutsis would know which Hutu killed off their family, they decided not to retaliate. Keep going with the chaos. Instead, they let the Hutus' punishment be guilt. Sometimes you just have to let someone live with the terrible decision they made. But that'll be my conclusion. I thank everyone for watching. This is now because of the RPF, the Rwandan Patriotic Front invasion in Rwanda. They were able to gain much land in the north, and with that land, the president of the Republic of Rwanda was heated and was looking for revenge. And this man was Juvenal Habyarimana, and as you guys see here, him right here, and he created a anti Tutsi plan, and with this anti Tutsi plan, he had certain anti Tutsi families that he entrusted with a certain goal to kill off any Tutsis that were in sight of their territorial land. One of these families were known as the Akuzu, and the Akuzu created the Hutu Ten Commandments and the Coalition of the Defense of the Republic, the CDR. The commanders refused Hutus to be with intimate with or trust any Tutsis unless they wanted to be declared a traitor. And with this, instead of being declared a traitor, the Hutu were more prominent to killing off the Tutsis, ratting them out, spreading their locations, and pretty much protecting themselves. Here's a picture of Oda, as you can see. And though she was young, she remembers things such as houses being burned down, men running down hills with machetes, and she's also told us, that Tutsis were known in Rwanda as Inyenzi, which meant cockroaches. And as I said before, they were literally hunted for extermination as if they were pests. And all this time of running and escaping with her family from the Hutus, they were lucky enough to, come across one of her father's friends that, was a Hutu, but did not want them to be, killed off. So out of, sheer careness, her father's friend found a way to get them marked in like books as Hutus. So when people asked for their identification, they were Hutus, and they will be able to run free and get out of the way of the danger. Hey, my name is Casey Wama. Today, you guys will be witnessing my own edition of a TED Talk. And my topic will be the unfortunate event of the Rwandan genocide, which took place in the mid 1900s, specifically more about around 1960. The event was started off with tension between two groups known as the Hutu and Tutsi, which were both African ethnic groups located in the African Great Lakes region of Rwanda, Burundi. Now, the Hutu had an Hutu power government, which would lead brutal attacks upon the Tutsi and trying to, kick them out and show them that, they're dominant. And in retaliation, the Tutsi would attack Hutu sub-chiefs, creating even more chaos. As the Tutsis would attack the sub-chiefs and kill them, the Hutu would retaliate, making the Tutsis flee because of their even more brutal attacks. And as the Tutsis fled, their high-held officers' positions would be left open and vacant, which is when the Hutu will come in and replace those spots with, their own Hutu people. Now, about in 1990, the Tutsi formed a group called the Rwandan Patriotic Front, which was a group of Tutsi refugees led by Fred Wujirwima. And in 1990, they set out to Rwanda to, reclaim their land, but in the first couple of days of battle, Fred was killed off, and a general named Paul Kagame took over. And if you guys can see it, this is Fred, and this is Paul right here. And Paul took over and, led the Patriotic Front. Finally, when time finally came around when an agreement was made between the United States, France, and Organization of African Unity for an agreement of ceasefire and hopes to end the civil war between the two groups. This agreement was called the Arusha Accords, and it was indeed signed by Habyarimana and the Rwandan Patriotic Front, But unfortunately, time came back around where the agreement, no longer had any meaning when April 6, 1994, a plane carrying Habyarimana and some other important leaders was shot down in a neighboring place called Kigali, leaving no survivors. It's a very learning experience, and a very good learning experience for me, for this to be my first time making a TED Talk. But thank you.